How are you, Dad?
Okay.
Good?
No! You're on your monorail.
The second car, front door outside. What is it? Think of pasta. Okay. What has a C? Pasta. CD. Add an A. Nobody has a better last name. Oh, what? That's the weirdest last name. I'm proud. Yeah, I'm gonna hyphenate that shit. It'll be like. And people used to call me. Oh, I'm sorry. I'm over here shaking.
We're going to get into the canyon meadow, look at some wildlife. The wildlife we have to our left, these animals with spiral horns, they're called black-buck antelope. And they are the smallest antelope species in Asia. The more mature male, like the one to our right, walking along, has a dark brown overcoat and a white underbelly. And they grow only about 3 feet tall. Now with them, this deer with white spots, they're called shitao in Indian. In English is axis deer. And they're renowned for those spots that they keep throughout their lives. We here in the Bronx Zoo have been exhibiting the axis deer since 1899. And further in the back, we have a much larger deer. It's honey-colored, and it's called Barashinga. Barashinga is Hindi. It means 12 tine or 12 points. That's in reference to the antlers grown by the male Barashinga deer. But their name in English is also swamp deer, but they don't always live in swampy areas. Here's one of our male Barashinga right now, having some breakfast. And this hut represents an important conservation story that I'm going to play for you right now concerning the Barashinga deer.
In 1970, there were estimated to be only 66 of the Barashinga deer remaining in central India. But this population was saved by the cooperation of the local Indian community. Like the shacks you see here, there were many small farms using space in and around India's Kanha National Park. These people were coming into contact with the deer and the tigers that were also living there. Through cooperation with the Indian government, local communities agreed to relocate their villages. By moving, the farmers still had land to farm, but the tigers and their prey got more room to roam.
Now, as you all know, animals that don't exist nowadays are extinct animals, like, for example, dinosaurs. And this would have happened to the next animal that's coming up. The Mongolian wild horse was at the point of extinction, but it was saved through successful captive breeding efforts. Here are 3 of our 5 Mongolian wild horses. The other 2 are further in the back. Now, the Mongolian wild horse is the only true wild horse around today. And he do look different from domesticated horses. We can note that they are stockier in build. They have shorter legs. You can look at their mane. It stands on end, looks like a mohawk. And they're missing the forelock. The forelock is the piece of the mane that covers the forehead on domesticated horses. Now, captive breeding of the Mongolian wild horse actually started over a century ago in 1901. And 1902 was the year that the Bronx Zoo received their first Mongolian wild horses. So they've been around for a long time. Here's a bit more about their history.
The first accounts of Mongols to help keep them both physically and mentally active. Keepers might spray scents or hide food to encourage exploration. They may put out balls, boxes, or other so-called toys for animals to play with. Enrichment also includes husbandry training.
Farming. And they're also getting diseases from domesticated cattle. All the way in the back, we have a smaller animal when compared to the jobber. Those are brown antler deer. Brown antler deer are classified as a vulnerable species. They too are losing their habitat because of farming. However, despite these challenges that they're facing, they're part of an effort to save them, known as the Species Survival Plan. Here I have a few details.
Here at the zoo, we have...
And he's grooming himself, like all cats do. Here he's 4 years old, but he weighs over 400 pounds, and he's still growing. Fully matured, he can measure 10 feet long and weigh 650
Oh, there he goes.
pounds.
You see it?
Siberian tigers are
Over there.
thus the largest of felines.
Oh, yeah.
Now in the wild, tigers can eat a lot. They'll gorge themselves on a fresh pelt, eating about 40 pounds on one sitting. 40 pounds is about 160 hamburgers for us. But after eating that much, they won't eat again for about 3 days. Now in the wild at one time, there was over 100,000 tigers, and sadly, because of constant overhunting, that number has dropped precipitously to 3,200. But since 2006, the WCS has been working in conjunction with Panthera to help increase the tiger population by 50% in 10 years, and the initiative is called Tigers Forever.
To help keep them both physically and mentally active, keepers might spray scents or hide food to encourage exploration. They may put out balls, boxes, or other so-called toys for animals to play with. Enrichment also includes husbandry training.
Over 40,000 muscles are contained in that trunk alone. That's more muscles than in our bodies. Yet with the trunk, they can do so many activities, from tearing down small trees with enormous force to lifting small eggs without cracking a shell. Fatty and Maxine both weigh over 10,000 pounds. They're in their mid-40s. In the wild, elephants live up to 60 years in captivity. That can increase up to 90, and they are the largest land mammals.
Up to 90 years old.
However, they're becoming increasingly
Older
rare.
than us.
Elephants are being sought after for their ivory tusk, and they're losing their habitat. We started a campaign here called 96 Elephants, and we want everyone to take a look at that over at the Samba Village or on your smartphone, 96elephants.org. And it's a campaign that we're running to help save elephants, and it's looking up at us. Those are hog deer. Hog deer get the name because they're short, stout, and heavy like hogs. The bigger deer, dark brown, are sandbar deer, largest deer in southern Asia.
Oh, yeah.
They're very heavy. They can weigh about 650 pounds and grow over 5 feet tall. The reddish-brown deer are Indian muntjac deer, sometimes called barking deer. Some deer do make barking sounds. Here we have one of the smaller deer in Asia. We have 1, 2, 3, 4
Wow, looks
tufted
like
deer.
Toby. Small.
And there's a 5th one hiding in the back on the left-hand side of the fence. And there's a 6th one further in the back. Tufted deer are rarely seen in zoos outside of China, and they like to cool a lot of rocks and small little mountain formations. You're going to see 2 animals that are relatives of wild goats. To the right, we have our family of Markhor. Markhor is Pakistan's national animal, and their name means snake eater in Persian. Why snake eater? Has to do with those horns. Their corkscrew horns kind of look like snakes. They can measure about 5 feet long. The Markhor are my favorite animals here. Here's a few kids over here to our right. Markhors are highly endangered. Illegal hunting, habitat destruction, competition from domestic goats and sheep are affecting their numbers. Now they usually share this exhibit with another animal called Himalayan tar. They're probably further in the back. But before we see any Himalayan tar, we're going to meet our red panda, black and white panda that we know about. Panda means bamboo eater in Sanskrit. And apart from eating bamboo, they also have on their front paws an extra thumb. So they actually have 6 digits on their front paws. But the red panda, as you can see, cannot be related to the giant panda bear. The red panda is more closely related to skunks, weasels, and raccoons. Now, people have always been fascinated by their fur. And in some parts of Asia, they're known as hango, which I'm told means firefox. Now, if you'd like to see more red pandas here at the zoo, go to Himalaya Highlands. It's about 10 minutes walking. And we do have more red pandas there, and we also have some snow leopard cubs. Now a bit more about us. Wildlife Conservation Society maintains 5 parks throughout the city.